Howdy folks, I'm Amber.
I'm Amber.
And here's some Reddit.
He's not Amber, by the way.
She says,
Identity theft.
this person over here is claiming that they're Amber and that I've stolen their identity. But you all know the truth. You all know the truth. Our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk Refusing to Paint for My Sister-in-Law? This probably sounds dumb to some, but I am questioning my own thinking here. I'm pregnant with mine and my husband's first child. Our son is due in October. I was an art student in college and I never went into the field, but I have always enjoyed using my art in decorating. So I did a paint design in our son's nursery. I went with a Winnie the Pooh theme and used some pictures for reference, but other than that, the design was my own. It took weeks to get it finished, but we love it. My sister-in-law also loves it. She raved about it for weeks, and then the other night asked me on Facebook if I could do a theme for all of her kids' rooms. She has 5 kids, and they have more basic paint on the walls. Nothing fancy. She wants them to have something better. We messaged back and forth for a bit, but when I mentioned her buying the paint, she told me it would be such a nice gift to give it to them because it doesn't cost me anything. I told her that if it wouldn't cost me anything, it does mean that she already bought or is planning on buying the paint. She said a gift is something you take care of. I told her I didn't have that kind of paint laying around and I wouldn't do 5 rooms for free, so I told her I needed to pass. She told me I was a jerk. I mentioned the exchange to my husband and he got involved and told her that she was out of line to expect me to do all of that for free. She told me I was a jerk. I mentioned the exchange to my husband and he got involved and told her that she was out of line to expect me to do all of that for free and then call me a jerk for refusing to do that free painting. She told me that it was something that she thought I wouldn't mind doing since I love painting and I'm the kid's aunt, but if it was such a huge deal, then she guesses I just don't care. And it makes me question my refusal, which annoys me. I know it would make the kids' years, and they would love to have their favorite characters on their walls. But I also don't want to spend all that time and money on something that I won't get anything for either. Then, I think this is for the kids and would make them happy. Ugh, am I the jerk? Alright, what do you folks think? Do you think that OP's the jerk in this situation?
No.
Amber says no. I say, OP, of course you can do everything for free, especially while you're several months pregnant. Like, just buy, all of the paint and all of that effort. No, I'm just kidding. This is a bit of an absurd request. Like, OP's sister-in-law, reached out to OP to request this. And then she's like, oh, just make it a gift. So, I think that, that right there is a bit of an odd situation to put OP in, to be like, well, you just need to make this a gift for me, and I don't know. It's just so weird that she would have that expectation that OP was going to do this for free, and demanded that she make it a gift. So no, I don't think that OP is a jerk here. I think that it was a reasonable expectation to lay out. I think it was a really generous thing that you were willing to do, even in spite of not wanting to buy the paint. And if your sister-in-law had actually bought the paint and you had done it, that would have been hugely generous of you. But this is just her being, an entitled mom, is the way I see it. So yeah, OP, I suggest that you cross-post this to entitled moms, to entitled parents. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk. Your sister-in-law expects you, a pregnant woman, to paint 5 entire rooms for free and buy the paint tools. I don't know how long it would take, but probably a month or 2, as well as a lot of paint. And OP replies, I would say longer, and I would need time when my son arrives. The paint alone would cost me a lot too, because I would need multiple colors and a base paint that works for painting over. Not the jerk. Who in the world expects a pregnant woman in her 3rd trimester to do physical labor free of charge? I think that's what we're all thinking here. All right. Our next letter is titled, Will I Be a Jerk for Leaving My Family and Going Out of State for a 7-month course in commercial diving? I work in a dead-end job and I am miserable, but I get by okay with my fiance and our 4-year-old son. I, with some financial help from my mom, girlfriend hates my mom for a made-up reason, can go to a commercial dive school in Florida for 7 months. My fiance says that she won't wait, and it's selfish of me to want to better myself because she doesn't want to come with me or be alone for 7 months. Also, I live on the Ohio River and commercial diving jobs are available within my region, so the only distance created would be the 7 months of my class and if I had to travel for work once I got back. Am I the jerk for wanting to better my position in life? So Reddit has rated this person as the jerk, and I think if they are, then it's only very minorly. The thing about this situation, it seems like OP is miserable in the job that they have. They want to do better for themselves, they want to do better for their family, and they want to get into a job where they'll have more upward mobility, and I think that's actually really good. Where I think that they would be a jerk is if they did this against their partner's wishes. I would suggest that OP and his fiance sit down and have a conversation about how to work this out so that she wouldn't feel uncomfortable with the situation. But if he's also offering for her to come along to the diving school for 7 months, I'm not really sure why it would be that big of a deal. I mean, I certainly understand her not wanting to uproot her life for 7 months. It doesn't say what she does for a job either, so maybe that's some of the issues, that she does have a job or something like that, and it would, put a strain on her position if she was gone for that long. So, I don't know. This situation seems like there's some information missing. I think that if OP could find some help with the 4-year-old son while he was away, because 7 months is a long time to be taking care of a kid on your own for. There's not going to be any shared responsibility for that child care during that time. So maybe if OPs can find like his mom, I know that they don't have a good relationship, or someone else to help out around the house, that might make things a little easier. But this is a really hard situation. I do feel bad for everyone involved here, so I'm actually inclined to say that there aren't any jerks here.
I disagree.
Amber disagrees.
I say he's the jerk.
Amber says he's the jerk. Why do you say he's the jerk?
Oh, well, because is this literally the only job he could do, was one that takes a course that takes him away from his family for 7 months. Like, even if he doesn't like his current job, there may be other things he could do, and it sounds like he's expecting his wife to go pal around with his mom for 7 months when they don't get along, and he's very dismissive of her. He's like, he don't like her for some reason, like, as if she doesn't have a potentially valid reason. So he just sounds kind of dismissive of her in general.
I lean towards you're the jerk because it seems like you're being passive-aggressive and only phrasing it as a way of bettering your life and not acknowledging the situation you're putting your girlfriend in and downplaying it. Will she be able to work if she moves with you, or will it set her back in working and having to find something for only 7 months? And you're leaving her to be a single parent for 7 months if she doesn't go with you. Bettering your life is fine, but you don't have to go about it in a way that would put your girlfriend in a position that uproots her life so much. Yeah, I'm not really buying that this is the only way for this guy to get a job that he likes better, is to leave his kid and his partner for 7 months. I'd be curious to know how much effort he's actually put into finding other options if he just fixated on this one and hasn't or won't look into other options. Our next letter is titled, Am I the jerk? I want my wife to return to work, but she wants to remain a stay-at-home mom. Wife wants to be a stay-at-home mom, but we can't afford it. Am I the jerk? We are both in our early 30s, and prior to the world deciding it needed to be shaking things up, we were working and earning well. The conversation of kids came up, and she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and we worked out the financials of it all, and it was fine. I was up for a promotion that came with a decent increase in salary, so we would be fairly comfortable. Even without the raise, we would still be able to make it work. We got pregnant and everything was fine. I had plenty of time with our kid, and my wife took to being a stay-at-home mom well. Then the pandemic hit, and the company I work for took a big hit and scaled back the workforce a great deal. I was offered either redundancy or a lower position and job security. The wife and I agreed that it was better to have a stable job during these tumultuous times, and when things got back to normal, I could go into a spot similar to my old position. Well, the industry really hasn't recovered, and it looks like it won't be recovering anytime soon, if at all. We are struggling financially, and I personally have had to take on more work just to keep our heads above water. Now on to the problem. Where I work offers free daycare in building, which would allow me to spend more time with my kid and let my wife return to work. Her industry is now actively recruiting, and it would double our income while allowing myself to not constantly work overtime. When I broached the subject, she did not take it well. She does not want to return to work and feels I'm backpedaling on our agreement that she could be a stay-at-home mom with our kid. I tried explaining that things change and we can't afford to not have two incomes right now, but if it changes again in the future, then we can return to the way of old. This wasn't enough for her, and she hasn't spoken to me in a week. I know I'm a jerk for having to change the house dynamics, but it's necessary. Should I just get over it and keep going as to keep a happy household? Edit, I should add a bit of info. Before we had a kid, my wife was a little apprehensive due to her upbringing. In my mind, I think the only reason she concluded to have a child was that she could be a stay-at-home mom. Alright, OP, I'm actually going to have to say that this is an unfortunate situation. I think that you are backpedaling on your offer. I understand that things change. This is a really difficult situation. I don't know that there is a good right answer here, but I think if you told her that she could be a stay-at-home mom and you've given her the information about the financial situation in the household and she's aware of it and she's made her decision, I think you have to honor your position here. I really do. This is difficult, and I know that you're doing a lot of overtime, it sounds like. You're doing a lot of extra work, but you agreed to have her be a stay-at-home mom, and I think that going back on your word, as long as you are making ends meet, I think that's a difficult thing to justify. I really do. So I think that you shouldn't go back on your word if this is the main reason why she decided to have kids. It sounded like you were more interested in kids, you wanted to have them, and she wasn't really interested in it, and you kind of, convinced her by this offer. And so I think now you've made your decision, and I think you have to stick with that. Honestly, I do. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk. If it's not working financially, there's not much else you can do. No one was expecting there to be a pandemic, and you didn't exactly plan around it. I agree. I would love to work fewer hours, but it's financially just not possible. Not just by me, by the way. If possible, both my husband and I would cut back on hours. But yeah, no can do. So we both take our responsibility and work. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for yelling at these two ladies at the park about my brother? So, I'm a 20-year-old male. My parents had a surprise pregnancy when I was 16. My little brother is now 3 and we're close. My dad died last year from COVID in December, and it's been hard on all of us, especially my mom taking care of my little brother. I'm not in school right now, so in the mornings, me and him go to the park. Not a lot of people that early except these two ladies who were there with their kids. They were sitting by the swings, and I had my brother with me playing on the slides. But they kept looking at us. Even when I would look at them, they keep staring. Then my brother wanted to go play in the sandbox, which is by the swings. We walked past them, and they literally didn't hide that they were looking at us. And then they say to each other, "Are kids still doing this?" And I heard, "That poor baby." So they thought that he was my son, which, yeah, makes sense, but openly talking about me like that, That got me so mad. Normally, I don't do stuff like this, but I went to talk to them with my brother playing in the sand and asked them to say that again. Now they looked shocked. Then they tried to act like, what am I talking about? And I asked the lady, are kids still doing what? That's my brother. Then she was saying sorry, she didn't know that, and thought I was his dad. And I told her, no, our dad died a few months ago, and I like to take him out because obviously my dad can't do that anymore. I was like really mad, and they say sorry for what they said, but all I told them is next time, don't judge people. It really got me, I don't know, but I didn't like the way they were being. I didn't want to hear them talking anymore. My mom saw me mad when I came home, so I told her everything. Reason why she thinks I'm the jerk is that I was still rude to these older ladies, and it's not their faults that they didn't know. But still, to me, it's like, so what if we weren't brothers and I was his dad with a kid? They would still be saying stuff like that, and they were loud enough that I could hear it. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's why I'm asking here. Alright, OP, I'm going to actually say that you're not the jerk here. These women are being rude and judgmental, and they did not need to be rude and judgmental to you. And the fact is that they're probably the same type of people who complain about, young parents not taking good enough care of their kids or something like that, or, being buried in their phones all the time, or not, being good parents and stuff like that. And they're going to always find, people like this are always going to find something to pick at. They're always going to find something to complain about, and they're always going to look for something that makes them better than everyone else. So, yeah, they're just jerks. Anyhow, take care and good luck. And I'm sorry for your family and your loss, and I hope that things continue to get better, and I hope that you don't have to deal with judgmental people like this anymore. First, I'm so sorry for your loss, and I'm glad that your little brother has such a good brother to take care of him. Also, not the jerk. Those nosy people need to mind their own business. Well said and well deserved. I hope you made them feel bad for being so quick to judge, and they will think twice next time. Not the jerk. To quote Ted Lasso, be curious, not judgmental. Good on you for calling them out. And so what if it was his kid? Mistakes happen to teenagers all the time. They should have been impressed that he was being such a good father and actively taking a part in his kid's life in that case. They just want to talk bad about people because they were just bored. Judgmental old ladies with nothing better to do with themselves. Kudos to OP for being such a good big brother and a role model to his little brother. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving it a like. And if you didn't, consider giving it a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.